The hill above Shoal Creek in central Austin that came tumbling down in a landslide in 2018 is not going to be repaired anytime soon.
We have a bird's eye view of the damage right after it happened. City of Austin is now moving on to Plan B after negotiating with the homeowners. So the focus is now on areas down below the actual creek and the damaged walking trail. KXAN's Yoojin found out what forced the city to change course. Yoojin.
Sydney, Robert, if you're standing on the sidewalk here on Lamar Boulevard, you can still clearly see what happened. Take a look. In order to stabilize that cliff, the city needed two things to work out. One, an agreement with the homeowners up there so the city can work on people's private property. And two, a contractor who's willing to take on the risk and say if something were to happen during construction, like another landslide, they'll take responsibility. Neither worked out. It's been a year and a half of back and forth behind the scenes, which had left many trail users wondering,
is it even in progress? Are they communicating about it still?
Now, the latest update is that the Watershed Protection Department is giving up stabilizing this landslide aftermath.
Trying to find a solution, I don't think, is ever a waste of time.
Instead, the city's going to focus on mitigating flooding. Engineer Mike Kelly says with all the debris blocking the flow of Shoal Creek, if it rains, the water has nowhere else to go but up to the road.
If we hold the storm constant and say the same storm would have happened before May 18 happens now, then the results will be worse.
Their new solution is digging and shifting the creek closer to Lamar so water can go around the damaged area. Many people hope the trail will be fixed as well.
I would love to be able to walk from one end of Shoal Creek through without having to go around on Lamar.
We asked Kelly if it's okay to move on like this without stabilizing the cliff.
May of 2019, we did have a second movement, and so this mast, which had moved like this, had paused, and then a year later it did this. Once it made that secondary move, it achieved a level of stability that should be stable.
Some remain skeptical.
Until we can get that slope stabilized, there's going to be a safety issue.
And city officials couldn't tell me today how much this new project will cost. They expect to have an estimate sometime this spring. And they say once they have the funding and design, it'll take 6 to 9 months to do the work. Live in Austin, Yoojin, KXAN News.
Austin Watershed Protection says there have been failures up and down the Shoal Creek Formation going back to the 1950s. They say they do not have the indication that there is any immediate threat in any other place along the formation. They do say they do not see the threat spreading because of drainage improvements they've made. City of Austin says they have spent more than $715,000 to repair the landslide on Shoal Creek.